Hello and thanks for joining me. Today I will be reviewing the Blu-rays of Alejandro Jodorowsky, my favorite director. I'm going to start off with the most recent Blu-ray, The Dance of Reality, the semi-autobiographical story of Jodorowsky's childhood in Chile. It's hard to tell what really happened and what is rewriting history, but it's a very interesting movie. It's got it kind of ties all of Jodorowsky's older films together. You sort of see where some of his weird obsessions and ideas come from. And yeah, like I say, you can't really tell what's really true and what's fantasy. Like, I'm pretty sure his father didn't go and try and kill the president of Chile. I think that whole part was his dad probably took off, and that was him filling it in artistically. What happened, I don't know, but it's a great movie and highly recommended. If you have never seen any of his movies, you can still watch this and highly enjoy it without knowing anything about him or his previous work. Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Dance of Reality. I really liked it, but it's not the best Jodorowsky. Next up, we have one of my favorite movies of all time, Sangre, Jodorowsky's only horror movie, if you can really call it a horror movie. I guess it's a horror movie, kind of. It's about a young circus performer boy who has a pretty traumatic childhood, and he grows up with his armless mother, where he is her arms, and she gets him to do everything, including maybe even kill a few people. It's a totally bizarre, totally Jodorowsky movie. I'm not sure how popular it was when it came out. I only saw it a few years ago for the first time, and I absolutely love it. I've watched it several times. It's like one of his most accessible movies, whereas the other ones are really, really, really weird. This one's just really, really weird. It's highly enjoyable though, and if you've never seen any of his other movies, yeah, you can still. A lot of people only like Sangre, like they don't like his earlier work, but this movie really appeals to a wide variety of people. If you're a horror fan, you should definitely see it. If you're a fan of midnight movies or anything that's really weird and different, this would be perfect, because Sangre is both weird and very different than anything I've ever seen before. Give it a try. This one's like almost like a 10 out of 10 for me. So, masterpiece. Next up, The Holy Mountain. If you've never seen The Holy Mountain, go out and see The Holy Mountain. It is a great movie. It's got I don't know, it's like 100 different movies rolled into one. It's about a guy who's like a Christ-like figure, and he gets disillusioned with life and meets up with these a group of people who represent the planets, and they're all pretty messed up, crazy people, and they go on a journey to just a crazy journey to meet like these supposedly guys who rule the world on top of a mountain, sort of Illuminati type. I don't know what you'd call them, but anyway, it's probably one of the most psychedelic movies ever made. It's full of crazy imagery, lots of shocking imagery. The Holy Mountain will still shock you, despite the fact it was made in 1973. It's still like crazy. I love this movie though. It's probably my favorite movie. I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm heavily biased. If you're easily offended or easily shocked, don't watch it. There's like some animal cruelty type of stuff too, so if that's something that bothers you, you might want to skip The Holy Mountain. It's got a dog fight scene at the end that's pretty brutal, and a bunch of frogs get blown up, and yeah, but still, great movie. I love The Holy Mountain. Highly recommended. The Rainbow Thief, probably one of Jodorowsky's least seen movies. It's actually not that great. It's You should only see it if you're a Jordo completist. He I think he made this movie just because he needed money, type of thing. He was a director for hire. He didn't really have a whole lot of say in it, which is, kind of what Jodorowsky is all about, making crazy movies that he wants to make. And when he wasn't able to do that, when he had no little creative control, the product didn't really reflect his style the way his other movies do. So it's just sort of something to watch if you're a heavy fan, but for the casual Jodorowsky fan, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not great, but it's not bad. The Blu-ray's I think Swiss, and yeah, it's a good Blu-ray. It looks good. It's a good transfer, and maybe you're a heavy Christopher Lee fan or Peter O'Toole fan or Omar Sharif, in which case maybe you should add this one to your collection. I don't know. It's not that good though. And last up is El Topo, or El Topo, or The Mole. It's a psychedelic western from 1970, one of the first midnight movies, the ultimate cult movie, really. This is one of my favorites. I love this movie. It's kind of divided, it's like two movies, really. The first part's sort of a western saga, and the second part, Jodorowsky's with a group of deformed type of outcasts who live in like a cave, and he goes back to this town that's near the settlement of outcasts, and realizes that they're just as bad or worse than the so-called freaks. And yeah, it's a good movie. It's very philosophical. It's got a lot of Buddhist and Eastern influences. And like I said, it's an acid western, psychedelic. And if you haven't seen this, you really should. You should at least see it once. I love this movie. It's extremely violent and pretty shocking. But if you want to know what Jodorowsky's all about, you should see El Topo. So this review left out Fando and Lease because there's no Blu-ray yet, and I'm waiting for the Blu-ray. And also next year there'll be Endless Poetry, Jodorowsky's newest movie, which I also haven't seen yet because he's only released it at Cannes so far, Cannes Festival in France. So and there's Tusk is the other one that maybe one day we'll get a Blu-ray. Who knows? It's been missing in action for a long time. I've seen the bad VHS rip of it on YouTube. And yeah, maybe one day Tusk will get a Blu-ray, and Fando and Lease is definitely getting a Blu-ray one of these days, supposedly. And yeah, Endless Poetry. And hopefully Jodorowsky lives another 20 years and makes 10 more movies. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more midnight movies, cult movies, and psychedelic movies on Viral Drone. Thank you.